It's a Manscape Monday here on the 49ers Report, so shout out to Manscape for making today's show possible. Head to manscaped.com/49ers, enter the promo code 49ers, and you get 20% off plus free shipping on the best men's grooming products. Welcome into the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I am Chase Sr. And yes, the 49ers did cancel OTAs, but there are still a bunch of storylines to get to. And we kick off today's show with looking at Trey Sermon, and is he ahead of schedule? I'm going to go ahead and give this 4 Shanahats. For those of you watching right now saying, what is a Shanahat? Well, every trademark show here at Chat Sports has a rumor meter. Mitchell Renz and the Las Vegas Raiders Report, they go with Chucky Heads for John Gruden. Harrison Graham on the Chicago Bears Now channel goes with Smokin' Jay Cutler. So we are going with Shanahats because Kyle Shanahan is swagged out with the flat-brimmed cap, and I think he's the only one rocking that across the National Football League as a head coach. So here is the rumor meter moving forward here on the 49ers Report. 0 Shanahats, just chill. The rumor has absolutely no validity. 1 Shanahat, intrigued but somewhat doubtful. 2 Shanahats, people are talking. Okay, I'm intrigued a little bit. 3 Shanahats, that rumor is pretty likely. And 4 Shanahats, light the candlestick, let's celebrate because I see that rumor coming to fruition. So going back to Trey Sermon, that's why I'm going with 4 Shanahats on this one, because if you've tuned into the 49ers Report, you know that I am very high on the 49ers 3rd round pick out of Ohio State. And during OTAs, he was blowing up, getting a lot of buzz because he was given the bulk of first-team reps with Raheem Mostert out, as well as Jeff Wilson out. Both of those guys going down with knee injuries leading up to OTAs. And the 49ers in the 3rd round of the NFL draft didn't necessarily need a running back, but they obviously like Trey Sermon enough to take him, which tells me they have a lot of future plans in store for him. And during OTAs, he was getting the bulk of the first-team carries, but he was also catching passes out of the backfield as well, displaying dual threat ability. Here's what NBC Sports Bay Area had to say about Trey Sermon, and I wanted to include this because I think it helps him with getting early snaps in the regular season, but possibly contending and competing for the RB1 spot, because he's very familiar with this offense. Sermon is even more prepared than most rookies entering the league, having watched quite a bit of 49ers game film prior to being drafted. The 49ers running back wanted to be prepared for his transition to Ohio State's outside zone scheme after spending 3 seasons at the University of Oklahoma. Shanahan's system was the one that Sermon studied the most. And if his numbers at the college level translate to the pros, 49ers have a really good running back and a guy who can be a bell cow back in the backfield for Kyle Shanahan's offense. And we've seen any running back that he gets his hands on, he develops them, and they end up being very productive players. Career stats at Oklahoma and Ohio State, they were absurd. 455 carries, nearly 3,000 yards. That is good for 6.5 yards per pop. And I included the receptions here because he is fully capable of catching the ball out of the backfield and being a pass-catching threat. I've said this a couple times here on the channel. I think it is a realistic possibility that Trey Sermon can be RB1 week 1. Why is that? Raheem Mostert is injured, and I understand he's going to be back for training camp, but if Sermon impresses, the 49ers obviously liked him by using high draft capital to select him in the 3rd round, and while Mostert and Jeff Wilson are good backs, 49ers obviously want to go with a youth movement at the running back position. That's why they drafted 2 guys in the draft in Sermon and Elijah Mitchell, and I think he's going to have a golden opportunity to prove himself in training camp starting in late July, and he's going to blow some of these 49ers coaches away with his ability to be that dual threat guy. So I think he could be RB1, which is why I give this rumor a lot of validity. So if you're pumped up about Trey Sermon, maybe being the next Frank Gore, hey, we can only hope so. Like this video and hit that thumbs up icon. I'm certainly pumped up about the first-year running back out of Ohio State. If you are as well, hit that thumbs up icon if you're pumped up about Trey Sermon. Trey Sermon is obviously good at toting the rock and protecting his ball. If you want to be better at protecting your balls and cleaning them up a little bit, the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 is your answer. 4 interchangeable blades, a light so that you can see what you're doing in the nether regions, And if it's dropped in the toilet at all, no biggie at all, because it is also waterproof and the battery life lasts forever. So go to manscape.com/49ers for 20% off plus free shipping by entering the promo code 49ers as well. And you get the deal on the best men's grooming tool out there, the brand new Lawnmower 4.0. Looks like it was built in a factory. It operates as such as well. I'm going to be sure to put this link in the description as well as in the comments. Are the 49ers falling in love with fifth-round pick out of USC, Talanoa Hufanga? I'm going to go ahead and give this 3 Shanahats because people have been raving about Talanoa Hufanga ever since he was drafted. That includes people within the 49ers organization and outside the organization as well. Analysts, scouts, former general managers, have just been all in on Talanoa Hufanga with the player that he has the potential to be, but also the value in which the 49ers got him in the 2021 NFL Draft. He played safety at USC. He's also going to be able to play linebacker. He is also capable of playing special teams as well, which we'll get to here in just a little bit. And here's the thing with why Hufanga fell in the NFL Draft. At the safety spot, he's somewhat slow because he ran a 4.61 40-yard dash at his pro day. But he is not scared to lay the wood at all. And as defenses change to combat what offenses are doing in the NFL with more spread concepts, these types of hybrid guys going from safety and also playing linebacker are extremely valuable. Here's what Kyle Shanahan had to say about Hufanga after the 49ers selected him in the 5th round out of USC. Hits like a linebacker. His mentality is he's an old school badass, as we say. And I also loved what Hufanga had to say about his role going into his first year. This is a big statement, but it's something I've always preached. Being a special teams Pro Bowler in my first year is a goal of mine. I think a lot of guys get caught up in trying to play right off the bat. I understand there's a level to it, and I just want to be the best I possibly can be. I'm just grateful for this opportunity. I think Hufanga not only has a great chance of making the 53-man roster, but getting snaps right away. It's that aforementioned versatility that's going to bode well for him in year one, playing the safety spot as well as linebacker. And also, there have been some injuries in the secondary at the safety position that are going to help Hufanga get on the field from day one, with Tavarius Moore going down with that torn Achilles last week in practice. Also, if he's able to contribute on special teams right from the jump, D'Amico Ryans and this entire coaching staff are looking at a player who has so much potential moving forward, who can fill a variety of roles at different positions on a rookie price, given that he was selected in the 5th round. So, Faithful, tell me, is Hufanga going to make the 53-man roster? I think he's a shoo-in to do so. Yeah, he's going to be competing with guys like Tony Jefferson and some other players on this roster like Marcel Harris for some of those backup safety spots. But the fact that he can play special teams and slide in at linebacker, I'm going to go ahead and type my M for yes, he's going to make it. If you don't agree with me and you disagree, type W for he won't make it. If you haven't subscribed to the 49ers Report by Chat Sports, what are you doing? I mean, you're in the minority because we are quickly approaching 36,000 subscribers. We're hitting you with the latest news and rumors. We go live every single Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific, and we give you free 49ers videos every single day. So why wouldn't you subscribe? If you haven't, do so right now by either hitting that red subscribe button down below or go to youtube.com/49erstv. So, leading up to the NFL Draft, Kyle Shanahan had that infamous press conference where he basically just threw so many compliments toward the direction of Mac Jones. Was that press conference by design? I think it was. Light the candlestick for this one because I'm giving it 4 Shanahats. Kyle Shanahan played his cards right with this one for sure. And I think he did all of this to increase the leverage, to keep their infatuation with Trey Lance under wraps so that they can move up to number 3 in that trade up in the draft to select their future franchise quarterback. In that press conference right before the NFL Draft, Shanahan just spoke so highly of the former Alabama superstar who led the Crimson Tide to a national championship last year, and that led so many people to believe that Mac Jones, and not Justin Fields or Trey Lance, was the guy who the Niners were going to select at number 3. They were saying, Mac Jones, he's the perfect system fit. He is going to turn into the next Matt Ryan, blah, 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 blah. Your boy right here was never a coward. I never gave in to the Mac Jones hype, because why would you exhaust all of that future draft capital to move up for a guy who has a clear ceiling? Be smart and either select Justin Fields, who I had in my first mock draft, or Trey Lance in my second mock draft. That's exactly what they did, because those guys have a bunch of upside and no ceiling at all. So Kyle Shanahan recently was on a podcast with The Athletic with Tim Kawakami, and this is what he had to say about that press conference and the smart direction in which he kind of followed when he was speaking with the media. The goal of that press conference wasn't really to make all you guys think that we were taking Mac Jones. It was to make sure that the other coaches and other general managers and other buildings in the league, I wanted to kind of confirm what everybody had been telling them. I thought that could give us an advantage going into Thursday, first night of the NFL draft. Whether it did or not, you never really know, but I guess we were successful at it. With any big move that the 49ers are involved with, coming out of the facility in Santa Clara, there's never a peep. And I actually have to give Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch a lot of credit for that, because there are so many leaks coming out from all of these buildings across the National Football League, never out of Santa Clara though. And when there are no peeps, when there are no rumors, no speculation, or any reports coming out of your practice facility, you know what that leads to and lends itself to? More leverage. If other teams knew that the Niners were obsessed with Trey Lance, they might have done something to move up to select him getting in front of the Niners, then they wouldn't have been able to got their quarterback. So no peeps equals more leverage. Shout out to Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch for keeping everything under wraps in the practice facility, because it's really hard to do in this modern media age during 2021. Do you think Lance was always the guy? I think he was. I think it was either Justin Fields or Trey Lance. You don't get the prospect with a clear ceiling. You get the prospect with boatloads of upside. Type 1 for yes, he was always the guy. Type 2 for no. Be sure to get your votes in the comment section down below. And of course, we always appreciate you watching the 49ers Report by Chat Sports.